promise up and down that they are going to faithfully reimagine or remaster or remake something, you know that they're probably not going to. And unfortunately, with the Gothic remake, this is exactly what they were doing. And now we are seeing that they are censoring and uglifying the females in this title.
Oh, God.
I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic...
It's kind of crazy because they talked about them doing the same thing with Oblivion.
If you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this was actually a remake that I was looking forward to.
It's crazy.
Like a lot of other people, I love Gothic, and unfortunately, this is also something
be honest,
that has gone...
I played the game. The game played like shit.
Yes, uglifying.
Like shit.
Making it look nasty.
Like, you can say that...
through a bit of development hell, so I was definitely cautiously optimistic, but everywhere on the marketing material for this game, on their web page, over on the Steam page, they swear up and down that it's going to be faithful. Return to the Valley of the Mines in this faithful remake of the genre-defining open-world RPG. Explore a handcrafted, organic open world that reacts dynamically to your actions, whether you're a seasoned Gothic vet or if this is your first time being thrown into the colony, you're in for a true...
Well, like, it seems to be only a thing with remakes. Is like they remake it and they have these woke ass ideology bullshit that they put in it that like makes the women look uglier, or they lower the women's breast size, or they will like usually the women have V tops that show a little bit of cleavage, and then they crop that over, and it's just so stupid.
Experience with unrestricted exploration.
What's sad is that it looked so good. Like visually, it looked great. I love the way it looks.
No other. So hearing that it's going to be a dynamic living world, that it's going to be faithful, all of these things sounded extremely positive.
Everybody wants
well, it's because they're trying to sell a product.
See what they have done with it. And over the years, we have seen a lot of remakes and reboots, and just a lot of new games in general uglify women, censor content, tone things down, which is so sad because while I don't think every single character in every single game needs to be a 10 out of 10 bombshell, I do think that there are certain series where the characters...
Nobody wants to look like this. This is a guy. This looks like an ugly guy.
It kind of does look like a dude.
Like a woman. That's what it looks like. It's obvious. What the fact is that women want to have choices. They want to choose whether they want to look like a knight in shining armor or they want to look like a slut. They want to have the options. So just give people the options, but they're taking them away.
Should look very pretty. They should be like the peak of humanity, right? You don't expect a 600-pound land whale to be flying around as the next Superman. You don't expect a 450-pound they-them to be the next Tomb Raider and the next Lara Croft replacement.
They're the boulder that she's running away from.
And you don't expect, I don't know, Littlefoot from the Land Before Time to be a female in the Gothic remake. This is so sad to me. I'm so sick and tired of games with very unique, dark aesthetics being censored and being scaled back, and them trying to make them more...
The reason why is that there's a bunch of, like, weird, ugly, fat, middle-aged feminists that work at these companies, and they make the characters unattractive because they...
It's supposed to be a remake, though. Like, even if they're given a template for the clothing, they need to alter the clothing to fit the original.
They hate the fact that they're not young anymore. That's the reason why. They hate attractive women because it makes them feel insecure.
I have a better take on that. It's because they were told growing up that they shouldn't wear certain things or dress a certain way. And they don't like... They want to enforce that by doing the same thing to these games.
And they also hate men because men don't treat them the way that they think they deserve to be treated. That's the reason why. You have an army of swamp hags that are in these video game companies that are ruining your video games to make themselves feel better about being fat.
Marketable. Like, if you're not going to do the original game justice, there is no point to remake it, because
Amen to that.
You're just going to piss off the existing fan base, and you're going to lose out on sales. You're just putting money into a game that's not going to make it back. Now, if you don't know, THQ Nordic is the publisher of this game, and THQ Nordic was actually one of Embracer's first largest acquisitions in the video game industry. They acquired THQ Nordic back in 2014, and so unfortunately, I do think that Embracer Group is one of the reasons why this has happened. Sure,
I don't think that's really necessarily true. I think that the fact is that companies get infected with these people.
And they can't get them out. They can't dethrone them. That's really what this boils down to.
It's a total fake thing that's invented by people that are always performing for an invisible audience.
So lower quality, but at the same time, they were supposed to be pretty looking characters. And so you would expect that to carry over into the remake, and these outfits, these women.
Well, apparently they're like,
why the hell would they get rid of the outfits? The outfits are so like, if I was gonna play a Gothic game, like a game that it's called Gothic, I would expect them to be a little, you know, Gothic.
Slaves or something like that. So it makes sense that they're going to be attractive and dressed in like scantily clad clothes.
Exactly.
I mean, this is the thing is that, and if you have a problem with that,
like, you see this, then you're like, okay, how did this come from this? This is not the same.
Go back to elementary school. Go play Animal Crossing.
Heavily censored, have been uglified, and now there is a monumental amount of backlash surrounding this game because people are upset, people are disappointed, people are angry, and rightfully so. When you go into a remake that they were claiming...
Let's see if it's this bad still. I don't know if I can find it. Where the fuck did it go? And where is it? Gothic 1 Remake, Steam. So if you pull this up and you look at the community, right? The community hub, these people are malding out about this. Yeah, there it is again. I don't know what this is. Don't like it, don't buy it. Okay. Pretty simple to do. Why is the developer so selective when listening to feedback? There's another one, constructive feedback. Another one, houses a thing. Boycott, woke, DEI, uglification of females. Yeah, people are losing their fucking mind.
Yep.
People are very, very mad about this.
Well, like, you have to keep in mind, this game's probably like 20 years old, so like, if you're gonna do a remake, then do a remake. Don't sit here and try to, like, modernize it. I like how that person had said modernized. It's just a waste of money.
I think they should be, too. It's weird.
It's so stupid.
Up and down was going to be faithful. You don't expect it to be butchered. Now, I have seen some people post on...
and they've killed the game. Like, I don't know if this is really going to kill the game, but this is definitely, like, very negative marketing. Like, it certainly doesn't hurt. It certainly doesn't help. Like, making characters look like that will absolutely attract more negative attention than positive attention.
And the reason for that is because there was already a fan base. And what you've done is you've alienated the fan base who are obviously going to leave negative reviews. And the negative reviews are going to reflect poorly on the game, so the game's not going to sell because people are going to log on to it and see all the negative reviews and be like, nope.
I enjoy being part of that negative consequence. I do. I hate the people that do this, and, you know, again, if I can add to the amount of negative discourse about it, I will always do it.
I haven't seen any that I've opened yet being removed, but I will be keeping a close eye on it over the next couple of days, and I will update you guys in another video. Constantly attack Tolkien's work and Dungeons in the original. And I'm really curious to see if the story is going to be censored.
I thought this was supposed to be a faithful remake, so why did you censor the revealing outfits from the female characters that were present in the original
at all as well? Because of course it's humans losing a war to orcs, and we know how the modern audience views orcs now, how they constantly attack Tolkien's work and Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh
and how they
no,
constantly
not that
want
orcs are black people. Please
because
no.
they think people view them as being the equivalent of black individuals, even though it's just them that are saying that. So I think that they are the ones who are actually racist. But regardless,
I noticed that the only racist people are usually the ones that are calling out racist, or calling people racist. From everything that I've seen,
We're also talking about a game that I always had some worries about because of the localization. If you don't know, when Gothic originally released, it was kind of slammed
Scottish
for
people
its
with
like
drinking
inaccurate
problems.
localization. I was hoping that they were going to do a better job, but at the same time,
so if you go by stereotypes, you know, they think the orcs are black people, the dwarves are Scottish people. The elves are maybe Asians, I don't know, and the goblins are...
It's 2025. I can't really expect developers to put a lot of work and time into the games they're actually working on because they generally don't care. But I still... These women are supposed to be dressed like that because they were sex slaves and servants, so yeah.
I think there's a pretty good chance that the sex slave element is going to get removed or censored or in one way or another recalibrated. I think there is a very high probability chance that that will happen. Because the people that do this with stories, they love to do that.
Big skip on another modernized game that will mess up the original game's charm and authenticity. Too much political correctness. I need to say something very clearly about the barren women in the remake. You know, the design misses the part of Gothic's world. In the remake, they look like generic
sanitized
NPCs
garbage
just to satisfy modern sensibility.
How many of these retards, how do these retards keep getting hired? They get hired because of diversity quotas.
Yep.
They get...
But now that that's dismantled, they're no longer going to get hired. They're going to get fired and hopefully not get rehired in some other game company.
Hired into these companies by diversity quotas and other forms of DEI inclusion systems. And then they are now because this person was added into the company because they're a minority or a protected group, now it's hard to get rid of them because of that same reason, because they're a minority or a protected group.
And what makes them a minority is the fact that there are a bunch of them now in the company, which unfortunately will probably end up leading to the death of the company.
And so they're effectively like you've just infected your company with a retard like this that's trying to add in a bunch of bullshit into these games.
And they proliferate too. Like they'll get their friends hired, they'll get like their family members hired that are forced to have their same take. Like they'll get people in there.
What happens? It's retards hiring other retards. Exactly.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Gothic was not a moral game. It was not safe. It was brutal, misogynistic, immoral, and sexualized. And that's exactly how it was supposed to be. It's always
You're not going to get a new game like that made by a big company that's Western.
Nope.
If you want a game that has any sort of like credibility, you either have to find an indie game or you have to find a game that's made completely outside of the scope of like Western influence.
Yep.
All Western games are poisoned by this dialogue.
It's mind rot. It's brain rot is what it is.
Funny that there are individuals online who say, you guys aren't intellectuals and you can't handle mature themes. But when it comes time for mature themes they don't like to be depicted in a game, oh my gosh, then it's time to censor. Gothic 1 Remake game got modernized. RIP. Chuds really can't have shit in this world. Took it off my wish list. Big skip. Thalia is trans now.
I'm glad to see so many people putting pressure on them doing this. I think that it should be more. The more people that do this and the more people that are hostile about it, the more other companies in the future will be afraid of doing it, which is the goal.
Yep. No, if it's a remake, you need to keep to the original material. Stop taking known IPs and fucking them into a hole. Stop taking these games and then remaking them into garbage.
Some of these characters, just look
so you gotta
absolutely horrendous. And
what the fuck is that?
Any game that does, just look
so you gotta
absolutely horrendous.
That looks like shit. That looks awful. What the fuck?
And it sucks. Any game that does this, you can assume to be garbage. While there are exceptions, this is the rule. Fire them all.
Well, the thing is that a game like this can't be garbage because all they did was update the graphics and kind of stick to the same storyline. Unfortunately, it won't be garbage because it's got the original game like bones. But if they could, they will change it.
They're indeed talented, they'll land on their feet. This shit looks like the quest in The Witcher 3 where Geralt and the boys dress up as sorceresses on a drunken binge. That is so...
Is that a real quest? Have I not found that quest? Is that real?
Oh, God. That's Eskiel? Yeah, maybe you're right.
Freaking hilarious to me.
I got that option.
I bet the new designs or
Yeah.
self-inserts of some kind of feminist who worked on the game wouldn't even shock me. Damn, I was looking forward to the remake. I guess there's no need to remake Gothic 2
It's like they don't know anything.
It's all so tiresome. Even the OG Gothic women look better than the 2025 ones. There's something...
You know what's crazy? Is that if you went over to Reddit, or True, I think it's like True Blue or whatever, I guarantee you that these would be polar opposite because of how many people they would have had to have removed or blocked on the other sites. But on Twitter, they're not allowed to do that. They have to take the full brunt of it. And this is where most people are getting the full brunt.
Very wrong,
there is.
And yeah, I just
absolutely there is.
Have a bad feeling that this
That's
is
why they made True Blues, because they couldn't handle the truth on Twitter.
Only the start of the issues with this title, so I'll be keeping a close eye on it and on the forums to see if they are indeed censoring people. Wouldn't even surprise me. But if you had any hope for this, maybe temper your expectations.
That
sucks. That's all that I really had.
Another franchise killed and buried because of this DEI slop, this wokeism. It's so tiring.
If you see this in a video game, the odds are it's going to be garbage. Like, and I view this with any time that I see a gender swap or a race swap with a character, my expectations for the story instantly go into the garbage. Like, if there's a remake and they've remade it and they've race swapped characters or changed their appearance or anything like that, you should start from the position that it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
That's it. It's pattern recognition.
I agree. It's just garbage, dude.